Hey, God bless you. Welcome back to ECPGencat.com. This is Sarai Rosado, and today is day 14. It's Saturday morning. It's January 19, 2013, and it's simply the beginning of the weekend, and I want to encourage you to enjoy your weekend, but stay strong throughout this weekend. Today I want to speak about a story that we've all learned since we were kids, and even if we were not in church when we were kids, we've still heard the story of David and Goliath. And in this story, although it's something that we've heard a lot, I believe that these stories that I want to call basic stories that we learn, fundamental stories, actually teach us a whole lot if we continue to read them. And every time I read these stories, there's something that I take out of it, something new. And I want to encourage you guys to read the story of David and Goliath again and see what the Lord and what the Spirit ministers to you, something new, something different. I want to focus on 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 33 to 37, and then 50 to 51. Now, I'm not going to read it, but I encourage you guys to read that whole chapter and be blessed by it. Now, the verse 33 starts off with Saul telling David how he's not qualified to be able to fight against Goliath, against the Philistine. Now, what I want to tell you is that there's going to be a lot of people, or many people are going to tell you that you are not qualified to do what you feel in your spirit or what you feel that the Lord is telling you to do. But one thing I do know, and I can tell you, is that everything you've been through has prepared you to do what everyone else is scared to do. There's so many people with the credentials, with the clothing, to be able and have the ability to step forward and do God's work, but they're not willing to. And hey, if the Lord is calling you to do it, and even though you don't have the credentials according to these people, if you feel in your spirit that this is what the Lord wants you to do, then amen, step forward and go ahead and do it. See, one thing I love about David is that David, when Saul tells him you're not qualified, David says, you know what? Okay, I may not be qualified according to your eyes, but according to the Lord's eyes, I'm well qualified, because let me tell you something. Every time that the lion or the bear try to come and take something that was mine when I was pasturing the sheep, I will go and chase it and make sure I took it out, even if it was right inside the mouth. And if that lion or if that bear try to come at me or try to snap at me or turn on me, then it was dead. See, there's something that you can tell everyone and tell your enemy, you know what? I may not have the credentials that according to your standards, but let me tell you what the Lord has equipped me with. Every time that Satan try to take my family, every time Satan try to take my job, every time Satan try to take whatever was mine, I've chased them back, and I took back what the devil tried to steal from me. And if he tried to turn from me, I had a living God, and I have some knees that I fell down on, and in tough times I learned how to pray. I learned how to be by myself and seek the Lord's face. See, these are the credentials that, maybe you don't recognize, but the Lord has been equipping you in these situations so that you can be able to confront whatever it is that you need to confront in today's generation. So it doesn't matter what anyone tells you. Do what you feel in your spirit to do. If you need to step forward, then step forward. The time is now. It's not time to be playing around. It's not time to be thinking or worrying about what other people are saying. It's time to do what the Lord has called you to do. And stop sitting down in this pew and just letting time pass. We don't have the time to just sit back and relax. It's time to work, and it's time to serve. Another interesting thing about the story is that David uses what he knows how to use. He uses his sling. Now, what the Lord uses to equip you and to prepare you is what you're going to use to be able to confront whatever it is you need to confront in this generation. So don't try to use other people's words. Don't try to use other people's style. Use what the Lord has given you. If you know how to grab a passage and break it apart, then use that. If you know how to pray for people and intercede, then use that for this generation. If you know how to speak to people, then go ahead and speak and save souls in this generation. It's time to use what the Lord has given to you. Another thing about this story is that David, when it says that Goliath falls down, it says that David jumps on him and cuts his head off. Now, cutting his head off was a sign to show everyone that this Philistine was dead, that he was able to conquer this giant. Now, what I want to tell you is that during this fast, you need to cut down and you need to kill whatever it is that is trying to kill you. Now, if it's a sin, if it's a situation that you keep falling into, I need you to not only make it fall down and not only knock it down, but also cut the head off. The problem with certain people and the reason why they continue fighting the same fight every time, you hear them going through the same situations over and over again, is because they're using what God has trained them with and they're knocking it down, but then they walk away thinking it's dead, when in reality it was just knocked out or it was sleeping, and it's going to rise up again, and sometimes it rises up even stronger. So I need you and I encourage you guys that if you knock something down, cut its head off and make sure that it's dead, and show everybody and show yourself a reminder that, you know what, I'm not falling into this temptation again. I'm not falling into this sin again because it's dead. It's not coming back alive. And I want to encourage you guys to do that, not only now, but after the fast. The key thing here is to do it after the fast. Right now you may be strong spiritually, but after the fast you may go down. It's not the same thing, and you may the temptation may arise, but I encourage you to stay strong. You can do this. It's time to work. It's time to serve. God bless. Leave a comment.